And we did it. So here we are. It's Thursday. It's time for another incredible Jack Kirby's Fourth World at 50 celebration.
Oh my God.
I know. There it is. Hi, everyone. I'm Rand Hoppy. I am the Executive Director of the Jack Kirby Museum and Research Center.
And I am Tom Kraft, the President of the Jack Kirby Museum and Research Center. Founded in 2005.
It's
now
true.
Celebrating its 15th year. Can you believe it?
I can. And we are here. We're broadcasting live out to Facebook and to Twitter/Periscope and YouTube, all live. And please feel free to comment and ask questions and say hello. We always appreciate that. Hey, Ruben on Facebook. Good to see you. And we are going to, I'm going to do that introductory thing that I do. And it gets longer and longer every time because we keep having all kinds of stuff. But anyhow, so let's start. Hey, check out our YouTube channel. What?
It's Jimmy time.
It is Jimmy time. Check out our YouTube channel. We've got like 26 different hour-long videos from our 100th celebration of what would have been Jack Kirby's 103rd birthday, 3 days for 103. Really good stuff there. There are pieces that need to be edited that aren't there. I spent some time editing today. I'll spend more time editing so that we can make sure that everything is up there. Just because there were some glitches and blah blah blah. So you edit it. You make it a little nicer, for posterity. That was really fun. And please check that stuff out. We really had a great time, a lot of good content. So since it is the 50th anniversary of Jack Kirby's Fourth World, we decided we would do a whole series of going through all of his comics. And it's really been fun. And we realized since we had that 103rd birthday celebration in the center of it, and then we took kind of a weird too long break when we made a video for San Diego Comic-Con. So we're rushing to catch up. We're like scrambling. We used to do it 2 days a week. Now we're doing it 3 days a week because we really want to get it done in the summertime. So we started out with episode 0, the ramp up, an introductory episode talking about where Jack was coming from when he created the Fourth World. Episode 1, June 13th, the first issues of the Forever People, New Gods, and Mr. Miracle. Then we spent some time with Mike Royer. Had to edit it so that it was nice for people, for posterity. It's up. It's great. Mike's great. It's just technical stuff. Then we had episode 2 with Pals Like These. We did 5 episodes. We say it every time. Never 5 issues again like that. We're going to do an episode with like a whole bunch of the kind of the non-Fourth World Mr. Miracle issues. Right, Tom?
Except for the number 18 of Mr. Miracle. That kind of...
Right. We're going to leave that. But the ones in between, we're going to mush those all in one episode and kind of run through them quickly, just because we're running out of time. It's a Fourth World summer; those aren't Fourth World issues, Yeah.
So our last episode, I think, is something like the 20th of this month.
Right, we're calling it. I'm calling it episode 1 million because I'm ridiculous, but we're gonna do
because it feels like it.
Because we're gonna take on what is that? Every Gods Must Die from 1984 and The Hunger Dogs.
Yes,
and maybe look
That's
at
a lot. Just that is a lot.
Maybe we'll look at some toy designs, and we'll look at the unpublished story that got turned into every those 2 stories. So
that would suggest that we need to finish Mr. Miracle before that.
We do.
Okay.
We will. Yep. So then, episode 3, Forever People, New Gods 3, which was in late July. Episode 4, Mr. Miracle 3, Jim Olsen 135, August 6th. Episode 5, August 13th, Happy Land and Barda. Episode 6, DNA Alien, Forearm Terror, Deep Six. This is when we started getting into our groove. We started broadcasting to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. And we did, then we moved to episode 7 on August 20th, Sonny Sumo, Murder Machine Spawn. Episode 8, The Glory Boat. That was great.
Awesome episode.
Funky Flashman, The Omega Effect. We realized we should probably have some standalone episodes later. I don't know. September, Christmas time. We said we'd do like a Glory Boat episode. Just the Glory Boat, you know. August 23rd. August 27th, episode 9, 3 issues of Jimmy. The first 3 issues of Jimmy, just like this is the second 3 issues of Jimmy that we're going to do. Episode 10. When was that? Oh my gosh, that was a week ago. The 7s. We did The Pact, and what is it? I'll find you in yesterday. You know, whatever. Yeah, that was great issues.
Yeah.
We're moving on. Episode 11, 3/8, on September 6th. Just a few days ago, episode 12. The 9th issues of the Fourth World Stories with Hyman and the Bug. And here we are, 3 incredible issues of Jimmy Olsen, episode 13. It's our lucky episode, Tom.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Just to mention that all these episodes are going to be archived, if not already, on YouTube only.
They are on YouTube. They're still
they are now, but
yeah, they're on Facebook. They're on Periscope. You know, I'm not going to will they go away? Will I click delete? They're going to be on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what we consider our archive.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. It's the vampire bit. Get it? Really? No, I don't think so. But like you've never seen it before. On the Road to Armageddon. Thank you, Michael. Michael Hill on Facebook. Yeah. And so that's a cool cover. Go to, oh man, I wanted to have that link. I wanted to share that link with you guys. We did a Jack Kirby Today piece on our Twitter feed about this cover. There are multiple versions of this cover. I decided to not do it on this live stream because I just did it like a week and a half ago on Twitter. We're running out of time. We got to move on. So maybe I'll look for it. Maybe I'll get Tom to start telling a story or something, and I'll go find it on Twitter. Or maybe Tom, while I'm yammering, you can find it on Twitter. I don't know. Anyhow, so here our story starts. It's like a vampire and a werewolf. What's going on? His name is Lupek because he's a werewolf, because he's, you know. Anyhow, so it's kind of cool, right?
Right.
And yeah, he's surrounded by branches, and he sends out some kind of, what is it? The eye beam, the evil eye, and his evil eye acts like a vampire bite on Laura Conway, Morgan Edge's secretary.
It sure does.
And she goes into work the next day, and it's like Clark and Jimmy are like, "What's going on, Laura?" And oh, look, we have the original art. So there's something. And I will just say that again, we've talked about the lettering on some of these comics, the non-Mike Royer lettering. I don't know why the heck there's a tangent between that word balloon and Clark Kent's glasses. That's nuts. Like, what the heck, guys? Like, move it over a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyhow, it just doesn't make sense. Come on, who does that? People working really fast do that, I guess. But there's the original art. So I'll do a little side by side.
I wonder why they whited out like her underneath her chin.
Were there bites there? Maybe.
I don't know. That's kind of what I was thinking.
Bites are on the side of her neck.
I know. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Weird. Okay. So then, they're asking her what's going on. Why is Morgan not meeting with them? She kind of exposes fangs.
Yeah.
Falls into Clark's arms. She falls. He catches her.
Faints. Yeah.
And then, she can't be seen in a mirror.
But also her clothes can't be seen also. So I don't know how that fabric.
Well, yeah, that's the whole vampire. Yeah, well, okay, we're gonna go there then. So
I'm
tell
sorry.
me. So he lays her down. She's gotten very pale in that bottom right panel there. And of course, we're surrounded by these Murphy Anderson inked Clark
Faces.
and Jimmy heads. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the bat shows up in Margaret Edge's office. And oh, what do you know? It's Count Gregorin of Transylvania. They ask what's going on, and then he gives them the evil eye, and they're out. And then we cut to our newsboy legions, and
Which in the last issues were quarantined in the project because Scrapper, I think, had the cold. So they escaped and they went down a passage and found this boat just happened to be sitting here. So this is a continuation.
Right.
And they're going down into the waterworks.
They're in a tunnel.
Yep.
And they kind of get to the end of a tunnel and they're like, hey, there's never really an end to a tunnel. So then Flippa-Dippa goes for it.
Dips.
He dips. And he goes under. And what do you know?
He finds it.
And then Count Gregorin didn't really affect Superman as much as, or Clark, I should say, as much as Jimmy. But he's talking, Count Gregorin is talking to Laura. And basically, there's kind of he's basically looking for Dabney Donovan. That's
good old Dabney.
That's what it's all about.
Yes.
And
mad scientist. Extraordinaire.
Mm-hmm. And I kind of like that green and gray or green and purple on the right hand side. Kind of fun. And Clark is up and he tries to grab him, but he puffs away in some smoke.
It's interesting because it's all that green gray stuff you're talking about, but the second he's gone, the whole room changes back to normal.
It's dramatic effect. Cool. I know.
Yeah, I like it.
Right, and then Laura is suddenly feeling
normal.
a little better. So there's that. And then the boys head out in a car.
Because he heard that, what did he say? There was something that he heard.
The research center?
Yeah, the research center, yeah. Because Laura was the secretary to him.
Right. That's why Gregorin is asking her, because she might have information. Right. Points to this research science center, and the doors are open, and then what happens?
Werewolf.
Where? Wolf? Where? Yep. So there he is. And Jimmy gives him tries to hit him with a stick, keep him at bay, run away.
No, I grabbed a pole from the metal fence.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And
tries to whack him and realizes that he can't do anything, so he tries to run away. And of course, Clark Kent changes into Superman, and he kind of like moves the car out of view so that he can.
Yeah, we kind of learn that later, where it's like Jimmy's asking him, like,
"Yeah, where's Clark?"
Where's Clark? Clark went to get help.
It's always a challenge,
Yeah, it is.
With Superman,
kind of a cool page. And Superman shows up. I think we have the art for this, but it didn't include it. This one on the left.
Mm-hmm. I think we do too. Yeah.
He spins the werewolf, and then that's Lupek, right? And Gregorin.
And the Count reappears.
Yeah. What's interesting is like the bottom right panel on the left hand side. Some of the captions kind of have that Jack Kirby wonkiness to them on the outline. Like the letterer was kind of doing that.
Right, because Jack would draw these jagged kind of like...
Yeah, he would draw those jagged things, yeah. So then they vanish, and Superman and Jimmy are confused. And this is where the Clark is driven to the next town to bring back medical help. And they start looking around in the records. This is where Superman finally admits that the DNA project was no secret to him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're in the.
Well, one would assume that since he gave his
samples.
Yeah,
it was so. It felt like those issues was like, it was like, whoa, look at this, the DNA project, and then suddenly, like, I think I mentioned, like, why is Superman acting like the host here? Like, when did that happen? But anyhow, so, yeah, so he's a man.
So the Count, they rip apart the office trying to find information, and they can't find anything. And the only thing that wasn't touched was this photo of this world. And of course, Superman with his supervision could zoom in and get the date of destruction.
Yes.
And Bloodmore is the place, and destruction date is 1971.
Yep. So they figured that out. And okay, and then we cut back to the newsboys. And Flipper found the way out, and it's a shaft up. They go up, and then they hear some guy yakking on the phone saying, "How could the Guardian be alive? I shot and killed Jim Harper." Now there's a coincidence. But that's that's upsetting to them. I'm sure.
Sure,
they are scowling.
Their dads all kind of worked with the Guardian and stuff.
Yeah. So then they. Oh right. So yeah, they remember that I guess that Bloodmoor was a cemetery. So they go to the cemetery and they find
it's Bloodmore.
Yeah.
That's a cemetery.
Yeah. So they go there and they go into a crypt, and then
because they see the Count going into the crypt, so they follow him.
Right. Oh yeah. And then there it is. And let's put Bob's.
It's funny. I was 10 as well, but I was born in 61, so I was 71. I was 10. But I never read this stuff until I didn't start collecting comics for another, 4 years after that.
I read Jimmy Olsen's after Kirby, and then picked up the Kirbys.
Oh, really?
And then picked up some of the pre-Kirbys as well, because Jimmy, that puppet you made of me is menacing me. Make it stop. Or Jimmy, you're a witch doctor. Why are you making me marry a giant ape? Like, that's nuts.
I'm glad I didn't read those.
They're hilarious. They're really odd and goofy, especially the covers. All right, so then they found the small planet, Transylvania. And we're going to, oh, and there we go. There's some original art. Just nice.
The one thing that, I guess some people probably like it with Vince and all that, but Vince would take Jack's Kirby dots, crackle, that he had all in the fire, in the smoke, and turn it into like realistic kind of smoke. And I personally never liked that, but that's my opinion. I'm sure.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. It's the hairy secrets revealed. Strange stories of the DNA project. Let's learn about the Mountain of Judgment, Tom.
Yeah.
It used to be a giant missile carrier. And it's just there's all kinds of stuff going on. There's a sound room. There's a manufacturing thing. There's a media studio.
Yep.
They causes trouble with the outsiders, and they can do all kinds of stuff. Jude is the elected leader, and there it is. Thank you. The Mountain of Judgment. Letters pages. Bob Rozakis again, Elmont, New York.
Well, he's on a lot of them. I wonder how he got profit. There's only a couple letters available.
Yeah.
Why does he always get? It's weird.
I don't know. Okay. It's how would you like to see the smallest planet on Earth?
I actually had I redid the pencils on this. I had Mike.
It's coming.
Oh, it is.
But
I always found that I don't know. Did Neil Adams ink? Yeah, that did Neil Adams ink the figures in the center? Because that doesn't look like Mike to me. That's why I had him redo it. But
interesting. Yeah, could be.
It's hard to tell because they did a weird job of trying to make him into Ghost or something.
Yeah, they
reversed him out.
They reversed it. Yeah. And there it is. That was what, 2002.
Yeah, 18 years ago. I can't believe it. I know. And the stats at the top are real stats. They're not like nowadays where you can't get stats.
That's funny.
It's like the last time I ever had stats made in my life. I found a place. I live in Boston, like north of the city, that still one of the few places that still made old-fashioned stats. Yep. Another example of the smoke turned into the Kirby dots turned into like fake smoke.
Again, that lettering down at the bottom right is just strangely placed.
Yeah, they could have put it more in the center or something. It just looks weird. But so the genocide. Oh, yeah. So I had Mike. I redid the pencils. I had Mike do this as well, and brought back the real crackle that was there in the pencils.
Yeah.
And Mike's great. Mike didn't stick it over to the left at the bottom right.
Look what he did. Yeah.
Well, in the virtual pencils, there wasn't that much space.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know what they did, but.
Yeah, that's just something. It's so much of something. I put it on my green screen.
So the question is, does any of those little microbes that inhabit this planet live on top of those horns?
I know. The horns are hilarious. It's a real world upon which real people have evolved.
And I think I texted you last night about there was a Twilight Zone. No, what's the other
Outer Limits?
Outer Limits episode that was very similar. It came out. I don't know what year. I think it came out definitely before this. Came out in the 60s. Yeah. And it's all about this. They manufacture a fake planet and they put bacteria on it, and then they have a whole atmosphere in this closed off room, and the bacteria evolve and grow and turns into this monster that terrorizes everybody. So it just reminded me a little bit of this whole story.
Yeah.
I think there's been some research about how the Twilight Zone and Outer Limits, some stories that fit kind of back and forth with what Kirby was doing at the time.
Sure. Yep. So then they're in this place, and he finds a hand, and he moves it, and it opens a door.
A crypt.
Yeah, and that coloring is just so not good on that splash.
I love what Jack put on top of the coffin. It's just
I know, it's very funny, right?
Can you read that? Because I can't see it.
Of all the fears which have marked my human experience, I can't resist the gesture of placing our credits here.
It's great.
Edited, written, and drawn by Jack Kirby, asking the valued indulgence of Vince Coletta, who inks in funereal black.
Funereal black.
That's black. Right, so they find these coffins. There he is. But look at those metal gadgets near his head. So have we learned what's going on here yet? No, not yet, right?
I think a little bit. I think he mentions the fact that they're meant to miniaturize them or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's right. That's right. So yeah, there's that. And
Then we have Frankenstein. Why not? Because
sure,
we have everybody else.
get him in there. Get the whole rogues gallery. Oh, did I go too far? No, sorry, folks. Yeah. So, and then up the evil eye. Watch out! And they start getting shrunk, and they're out. And we cut to the boys.
Yeah, back into them escaping from the tunnel,
yes.
Crawling up and finding this guy who killed Jim Harper.
Right. And they confront him, and there's look, hello.
That's nice.
Yeah, I chose it because of the eye. But yeah, there's Jack. Yeah. Pencils look great.
Mm-hmm. The one thing I noticed though is if you look at Count Dragon, on the bottom left panel, Jack always penciled him with a little bit of a mustache, and then they removed it all the time on every single page. It's not as pronounced.
It's strange. All right. Oh yeah, so they're talking to him. They got the gun on him, and then he's like, "No, I'm gonna kick this table and get the hell out of here." And then, of course, a sentry pops up and says,
"Intergang,
you're not going anywhere. Intergang is canceling your contract."
Yep. You have this twice.
I'm sorry. And then Superman's down there.
Why not add the Mummy and Dracula's
Pyro,
the woman's name,
Bride or something? Yeah, it's cool. He breaks out.
They realize that they can't subdue him.
Right.
Jimmy Olsen's kind of like out of it.
Right.
Still from that evil eye blast.
Yeah, and it's still about the prophecy of that date.
Yes.
Where they know things are going to be destroyed, and the bell is ringing. It's trouble, but Superman realizes that there's something going on down below.
He can feel it.
Yeah. And then we cut to the boys again, and it looks like
the villain is dead.
The ratty pal is dead. The scrapper trooper is saying hello. And he points up to an air vent, and they get out into the air. So
tiny scrapper always comes to the rescue.
He does. He's like Jiminy Cricket. And Superman kind of has a cool 2 pages here. He lifts up things, goes down.
It's funny. It's every time I see things like the middle panel, the wide panel with Superman running through
Commandy
rows. I think of Commandy in the left. It looks just like Commandy to me. Where he's running through rows of the Chicago story.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's like there's always this thing about like for Jack, like these hidden computer systems, like crazy, like automated systems that are running underneath the ground, kind of, or hidden. And he gets it just in the nick of time to see the hound of whatever, the demon dog or whatever.
Yeah.
So the idea is that this thing was going to like genocide basically, but it's going to like wipe the planet clean for the next experiments.
Yep. And he says he's going to stop him.
And he stops it.
And he gives him a karate chop.
And don't get any thanks from anybody.
Right. So Jimmy's awake. And then they're looking in the microscope, and what do you know?
They see all the little coffins running down the planet, miniatures.
Oh, look. So now we get to see
side by side.
Mega side by side. We've got we got the whiteout on the Superman symbol.
Yeah, if you notice, like the middle, the original art, Jack would buy his own paper, and sometimes it was good paper, sometimes it's bad, but price was an issue because he had to buy it himself.
Yeah.
So in a lot of cases, just cheap paper that Mike Royer would have to iron to get flat enough so he could ink it. Yeah. And also wasn't acid free. So over time, some pages get really yellow and brown.
Yeah.
But the whiteout stays the same.
Well, again, I think this is one of those ones with the matting, right?
Yeah, but I mean, since it's not acid free, the sun will do real damage to it. Yeah. These this page and two other pages where it's only recently discovered back in February before all this stuff happened, and it was in California. I went to a show, and somebody came up with the 3 pages, and he had got them from Braz, and nobody had ever seen them before. So.
Well, that's cool.
So it's always those hidden gems we always look for to add to the archive, so everybody like yourselves can enjoy and see these things.
Yeah. So there goes.
Eventually, hopefully, one day online in a huge mega website.
Now, it makes you wonder about this last page here where they're projecting, they're supposedly looking at a movie. I imagine Jack probably wanted them to put up a picture of Oklahoma or something. You know what I mean? Like, because the thing is that the reason why these people were acting like movie monsters, was because they were being projected monster movies onto the skies, their whole existence. So they just felt like that was the reality that they lived in. So Superman and Jimmy are kind of like, well, maybe I wonder what would happen if we, employed them Oklahoma.
I can't remember his name. I think his last name is something like Lanron or something like that. He's
Drawn.
Yeah, he did a take on this whole story and actually introduced what's his name, Debbie, the mad scientist, and so he did a continuation of this back in probably the early 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
I met him in San Diego, and I was talking to him about it back then.
I'm gonna send a link into the chat, all the chats, which is the Twitter. The tweet that I tweeted out on Jack Kirby Today back in August 19th, not that long ago, but it's all about the cover of that of the comic. So there you go, everybody. If you can,
and follow us on Twitter, please. We need more followers. We're at 10.4.
Add us to your follow, and then click on the bell so you get the alerts, and so there we go. That's another issue. And more stories of the DNA project. This is a weird one.
I know.
It's like one of the first times the life form came out, and it was aggressive. So we fought it, and things happened. We destroyed part of the Zoomway, and then he disappeared. He turned into dust.
What's interesting, though, is the car. So the car there looks like it's from the 40s or something, or 30s.
Yeah.
So this is assuming that the project had started back then or something. I don't know. It's just weird to see a 1930s.
It's a good point. It's a good point. It could have been like in, World War II stuff.
Could be.
Yep. Okay. Lettuce pages. Mark Grunwald ended up being a writer and editor at Marvel, and Harold May, who I believe was part of the Kirby online community years ago. Who he was a guy who was either there or involved in organizing the comic book fest that they had at Vanderbilt University, where we're still kind of yearning for transcripts of, I think, Jack Kirby's solo talk or Stan Lee's solo talk. There's a few transcripts that are missing from that event. So anybody out there knows about the Vanderbilt event back in '72, if you have transcripts of any of that stuff, we would love to add it to our collection of research resources.
We've been trying to build an archive of all the interviews, at least listening them all, and also the videos, and we keep them all for research.
Yep. And let's see. And here we are. This is Neil Adams' job, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It's a little. I think the scan is a little washed out.
It's not bad.
Okay.
So we cut to Jack Kirby, a real biggie. So during this whole issue, they Jack is trying to like mimic the Scottish accent in it a lot. It doesn't.
Yeah. All right.
So it starts with this person on, what is it? Trevor.
Yeah.
And some big round thing appears and he can't stop. And that's it.
Yep.
He survives, but the boat doesn't.
No.
Then we cut to Morgan Edge.
Yeah. And
with a big head.
The giant head, and Jimmy and the boys, and it's just wow. It's like, why do those two balloons touch? Why? I don't understand. All right. Anyhow, we're gonna move on. So they're reading the article.
Well, I just find it, Mike never used logos like as paste ups for his titling, so it's kind of discouraging to see that. It's just like a cop out. It's just too easy, but whatever.
It's just put the logo.
It's really strange that the newspaper, the text under the headline is on the wrong. It should be like on an angle, like the way Jack did it.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, it's been like straightened out.
Doesn't look like it belongs there.
You're right. Well. So they're reading this article about the adventure there. They go side by side. Okay.
we have to get some like sound effect audio stuff and have it echo,
Okay, so right. Oh, they're right. They had problems with the whiz wagon. It got exploded or something, or it's in repair.
No, there was a bomb in it that the Harrys found.
Right.
And he's denying the whole thing as just speculation. But Morgan Edge is, of course, tied to Intergang, and his key thing, he tried several times to kill Clark Kent, and also the whole newsboy and Jimmy Olsen as well. Yeah. So that effort continues, and this is all part of it. Well, we'll see.
We'll see. But then it's like, well, so boys, what do you want to do? You want to go to Scotland? And it's like they all vote and they say, yeah, let's go. Let's. And it's something like if you can get the whiz wagon back or something. So, and they leave. He pops up his in-desk computer there and says, "Gosh darn it, will you kill these guys?"
What's the already? Problem? Like already? Get rid of them.
So then, but Superman and the Guardian are in Suicide Slum.
They want to get out and party.
To the Cosmic Carousel.
I wonder if I was thinking. I wonder if anybody ever picked up on that and named a club that would be fun.
I will.
I know.
So yeah, the people are as colorful with their language as with their dress. Yes, Guardian.
This is 1971, right? So the height of all the kind of hippie kind of cool stuff that was going on. Everybody's wearing different kinds of clothes and a lot of like secondhand clothes, and you know, it was fun.
And then so Terry Dean is there. And
who's Terry Dean after all?
I don't. Was she in?
Does anyone know? Because it seems like we should know the way. Oh, it's Terry Dean. It's like, okay, well, who's?
Please remind us, folks, in the chat.
I'm just wondering if there's some kind of Superman tie-in with Jimmy Olsen and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. Seems like there should be. So
then we have this great splash here where Terry introduces the San Diego 5-string mob, and of course this is like the big the story is that they are based on some of the young fans that Jack met in San Diego, who came from San Diego to visit Jack, and Scott Shaw is one of them. Roger Friedman, Mike Towery, John Pound, Barry Alfonso. So it's fun. He's based these characters on the real people. And this is a piece of art that Scott Shaw did, I believe, for 2012, where the 5-string mob, there's actually 6 of them coming out of a boom tube. And then, of course, they're meeting El Kabong, which is a whole other universe, man. I can't even explain that. But then they also there was a panel where they're all wearing. Yeah, it was 2019. So that was just recently. They had a reunion with Mark Evanier. Mark Evanier pulled all 6 of them together. So there they are.
It was the first time I think they were all together in one place.
Oh wow! Yeah,
in a long time.
That's cool. Yeah, this was nice. So that's the 5-string San Diego 5-string mob. But then who shows up in the club? It's Double X.
And how did he get there? He was in the project. He shouldn't be there, should he?
He should not be on the streets of Suicide Slum. Come on. I mean, he may be, the Mr. Spock of Jimmy Olsen comic book, but really walking the streets? I don't get it. So what happened?
It's interesting. I find him to be a little bit like Metron, the way he's described, because he's like a researcher. He likes doing that kind of stuff. My field is research.
Hilarious. Go to the Cosmic Carousel and have Double X show up.
I think we have to do something like that. I think maybe if someday we have a pop-up, we have a little side room with that same sign. We create a graphic, and then we have a little bar inside there. Yeah, and everybody that goes has to dress up like the 70s.
We cut to the boys. They're in the supersonic superjet. They have to get into the whiz wagon, and they're going to get dropped out of the jet into near Loch Trevor. And that scrapper has decided to get a Scottish outfit. So there's that. So they're in the whiz wagon. And they get dropped, and there's the countryside. And then they're about to run over this guy, Felix McFinney. And I guess that's who they're supposed to meet.
Yep.
And in order to solve this monster of Loch Trevor problem. And then Scrapper does some of his more scrappy Scrapper like stuff. Felix is like, you look great, but wow, when you talk. um, but yeah, so then Superman's looking, and there's a tunnel underneath the club. What's going on? And then the mob, the 5-string mob, pulls on their 6th string. That's why there's 6 of them, and they create sound, and the ceiling crashes. Not good. And then Felix introduces his Bonnie daughter, Ginny, and she's going to help Dad serve them dinner. And then Dad shows them the sonic device that he's going to use to call the monster. And Scrapper is going to sleep in the drawer, the dresser drawer.
Yeah, he said something about starch.
Yeah, don't sleep in the shorts that have been starched.
Starched, yeah.
Okay, but we do have pencils for that.
It's cool.
Yeah, another one of Jack's pretty young women, modern outfit kind of thing. Coletta was known for pretty women too, I guess, from the romance comics. So it all kind of works out there. It's fun.
Yeah, you could see Jimmy's face, kind of the expression changes.
Yeah, yeah. So then they're out on the lock. And Flipper Tipper goes in, and then what? He gets grabbed. And
gets his face mask pulled from his face.
Not good.
Not nice. And he's 50 feet under.
And then Mr. McFinney pulls a gun on the boys. And then...
It's not just any gun. It's a cool gun.
It's a Kirby gun. It's some... What is it? I don't even know. Does it say what? Does he say what? I don't know what it is.
No, it looks like a gun from Apocalypse.
Right. True. An intergang gun, is that what you're implying? All
yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But then the little Scrapper Trooper escapes and then goes over and pushes the button on the siren alarm, whatever that thing is.
Well, it's a thing to
call the
summon.
monster. Yes.
Yeah.
Which happens. And then the monster shows up. It's a cool looking monster. And they're like, where is everybody? Oh, Flipper Dip is missing, but then they find him on shore. There's this one comment here. I saw McFinney go down. He was caught under that monster, but he was we see him swimming away.
I guess he could have been caught under him, but in this last panel, it looks like he's fine and swimming away because there's other people in back of him.
Yep. And then she's like, yeah, you got to be kidding.
So she's the one who's actually not the daughter, and she's the one that pulled the mask from him.
Right.
She's part of Intergang also.
Part of Intergang as well.
It's too bad.
And then there's a big mystery, and they're going to stay here till the big mystery begins to show its face. And then there's this whole panel of just shenanigans with Jack. Right? Well, Jimmy boy, you and that motley but gutsy young newsboy legion haven't seen anything yet. And it just goes on and on and on. Hilarious. And another story from the DNA Project. This, what was it? There was a team, Probe 6, went into a cave. They'd spelunked into a cave.
Yeah, this is when they were exploring the underground systems in order to build the project. Yeah. And so they were exploring caves and so forth and came upon this lush kind of underground, kind of like Journey to the Center of the Earth kind of place.
Right. And then they started getting attacked.
But they had dynamite, so they blew everything up, including themselves.
Including themselves. But then later, somebody found a photograph.
Yes, years later.
So that's cool. It's no Aaron the Armored Man or the genetic.
We don't know what that is yet, though.
Oh, well, okay. But that's it. That's our 3 issues. That's the Jimmy Olsen stuff. What's happening?
We're 10 minutes early this time.
I know. What? Michael, come on. That's not fair.
What did Michael say?
Michael's yanking our chain. It's not true.
Terry Dean first appeared in Jimmy Olsen 125. Nah, just kidding. I don't know where Terry Dean came from.
Yeah, exactly not, Jeff. You're right. The Sea Monster was good. And
thanks, Matthew.
that is exactly true. Yeah, there are a few issues coming up. I think Mike.
Yeah, I think it's 146 and 147.
Yeah,
148 went back to Cleta, and I don't know. 145 wasn't Kirby, right? Was that the one? Yeah, 145 wasn't Kirby, or was it? I'm almost sure. There was one that I thought skipped.
It did. We went through. We skipped it already. It was 141.
Oh, it was 141. Yeah. No, it wasn't 141.
40 then.
One.
In between the Don Rickles issues, there was a giant.
Okay, yeah, right. But what number? It was 142.
Okay.
I know 141 was a Kirby.
Okay. Thank you, Matthew. Appreciate it. Yeah, we love going through these things. It's great to reread them and share stuff with you, and just pull out photocopies and art and scans and whatever we think of. So we'll be doing it again on Sunday. There will be. What are we doing on Sunday?
We're doing number 10s.
We're doing the number 10s.
Yes.
Fantastic. All right. Well, that'll be fun.
And we'll probably do the 3 number 11s to round it off on Thursday, and then maybe we go back to Jimmy Olsen or something like that. It's getting really tight, though.
It is getting tight. Yeah, we're gonna do the 10s and then the 11s. Then we're gonna do. I mean, the way I have it is we're gonna do 4 Jimmy Olsens.
When next?
No, we're gonna do the 10s, then the 11s, then the 4 Jimmy Olsens.
So that's next Sunday, a week from Sunday.
Yeah, and then we're gonna blaze through the non-Fourth World Mr. Miracles in one shot. 6 issues, just kind of blip, 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 blip. We'll just go through it.
I think the emphasis should be the only thing that's good about those. I mean, Fourth World related is the end when Big Barda and Mr. Miracle get married, and the last page with Darkseid is just awesome.
I've actually included that in the last episode with Hunger Dogs and Even Gods Must Die.
Oh,
just for the hell of it, because it's too many otherwise. Because it's 6 issues of from 12, Mr. Miracle 12 through 17.
Right.
So we'll just kind of blaze through them, and then we'll go to Mr.
And
Miracle.
for those who don't know, what happens is basically Jack is told that New Gods and Forever People will be suspended. They didn't say canceled, but eventually it was canceled. Yeah, suspended. And but Mr. Miracle supposedly had better ratings, so it would continue, but it wouldn't continue as a Fourth World book anymore. It would continue as this kind of like escape artist kind of thing for those 6 issues until the last issue when it went back to being really like a Fourth World issue.
When they got married. So,
yeah.
So we'll be back. We'll be back on Sunday with the 10s. And thanks, everybody. Really.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for the comments and the camaraderie and all that stuff. So we'll see you again.
And again.
Like us and follow us and alert us and all those things.
Become a member, donate money, go to our gift shop, buy t-shirts.
Okay. See ya.
Help us, please.